My boyfriend is policing my eating habits, and I'm tired of it.
What? That's not cool.
For the record, I am a small-framed, visibly muscular 5'4" woman whose weight fluctuates anywhere between 128 and 135. My boyfriend has always teased and encouraged me to eat more, but it's always been playful before. I used to tease him about his mammoth-sized portions. Seriously, where does it go? Because I had to start making date night dinners that should serve 4. By the way, this comes from user CCBoyF, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/okstorytime subreddit. So, to be clear, he constantly underestimates his calories and is often shocked when I'm reading nutritional information. I don't know where he got the idea he's knowledgeable enough to be judging what I'm eating, but there you go. Lately, he's become very fixated on this idea I'm going to start starving myself without his guidance. I don't have a big sweet tooth. I don't snack on the regular. I really only eat about half of my restaurant entrees when we order. We usually split appetizers. I'm a lightweight. I prefer a light lunch. These are all things he's starting to criticize on the regular. I want y'all to understand I'm really not depriving myself. I don't go hungry. I just don't enjoy stuffing myself. He doesn't listen when I tell him. He's constantly ruining my appetite by forcing snacks upon me. Yesterday, we woke up late, and I knew we were going out to lunch, so I only had 1 slice of thick brioche French bread, powdered sugar, syrup, butter, half a peach, and 2 slices of summer sausage. He had 5 slices of French toast with all the toppings, whipped cream, 1.5 peach cans, and the rest of the summer sausage, and an egg. I ended up eating a 3rd slice of his summer sausage, dipped in his egg to get him to stop nagging me. He made another 2 comments about how little I ate before lunch. Then at lunch, he had new fights to pick. He didn't want me to order plain iced tea or a diet soda. I don't like overly sweet drinks. He didn't want me to order an entree salad, ranch, bacon, avocado, egg, blah, blah, blah. We negotiated my lunch to a breadstick, a side salad, plus avocado, 2 slices of pizza that he nagged me to finish until his dad told him to lay off because he didn't want me too full for gelato later. The whole meal was pretty embarrassing for me. Of course, my boyfriend wasn't happy that I wanted a small gelato cup instead of a cone. I don't have a sweet tooth, remember? We knew we were going to go have a late dinner, so we stopped at a gas station later that evening to get him a snack. I just wanted water but picked up a small package of corn nuts in the hopes of making him happy. And we still had a minor spat, so I picked out some candy too. He didn't notice he was the one to end up eating it. He claimed we disagreed because I was irritable from hunger. We picked up dinner at a buffet-style place that charges you by weight for to-go containers. He decided I had to use a medium container instead of a small. Admittedly, I just filled the difference with varieties of salad, but I also had a very rich mac and cheese and some fried foods in my containers as well. He was bothered by the small portions I was serving myself, but I was taking many more varieties than him, like a sample platter. My container was full. This is where we had our first real fight about my eating habits. He decided to make a 3rd container of food to make sure I ate enough when we got home. The restaurant we were at was not cheap. I refused to back down on not blowing a bunch of money on food that we just end up picking at and throwing away. A lot of the things he picked are foods I don't like when they're reheated. We've been working hard on being more frugal together lately, so I was pretty pissed when he ignored me and paid for the extra food. In the car ride on the way home, the argument continued until it got to the point where he was very frustrated and teared up as he shouted, "I work so hard to take care of you, and you're always fighting me to hurt yourself?" He then proceeded to give me a long, condescending guilt trip. I was pretty enraged, to be honest. Once we were home, dinner went cold while we Google fought over how calories, protein, sugar, and my BMI work. You name it. No matter what I showed him, he wouldn't back down on not feeling like I don't eat enough because muscle weighs more than fat, so you're actually underweight and hiding it by lifting weights. Are you the dumbest person on earth? This is like the argument of like, what's heavier, a pound of feathers or a pound of nails?
Yeah.
And someone goes, the nails, because a nail's heavier than a feather.
Right.
No, but it's 1 pound of feathers and 1 pound of nails.
Like, I don't even understand what he's trying to say. So he's saying, no, it's all just muscle weight.
Well,
it should be fat weight.
He's
saying that it
clear,
should be fat that
you can actually get to a point where if you lose so much body fat and you have just muscle, that it can be a detriment to your health. However, OP has expressed that they are perfectly healthy.
Yeah. Really doubt that, like, she is just at a point where she has like 1% body fat or something like that. Like I just, that's so hard to get to. And like with I feel like she would already have to be on like a strict eating diet if that was the case, you know? So it's like, he's just,
and it's like,
so stupid.
Yeah. I don't even know what to say to that. So I went home. He texted me 12 times because I left the cold dinner at his place. I was ignoring him while I made food, but finally caved and told him I was eating something else. He asked me to text him a picture of my food. I never responded, and he texted me another 3 times. This morning, he texted to ask if he could bring me breakfast. I said no. I'm kind of bewildered and annoyed. I'm not really sure how we can resolve this one. Relevant comments here from Dynamite77. He claimed we disagreed because I was irritable from hunger. This is really controlling behavior. Is there any space in his brain for you to be right about your eating habits? Does he do this with other things in your life as well? OP replies, yeah, it was about as enraging as when guys try to say being on my period is why I'm upset. He's normally very laid back, but we've only known each other for 8 months. MM172 says, does your boyfriend have some kind of feeding fatouche? Or is this reverse psychology in an effort to get you to develop an ED because your weight is almost exactly in the middle of healthy range for your height, and it sounds like you're perfectly capable of picking out balanced meals for yourself? There's zero justification for counting every calorie or measuring portion size the way he's trying to do. If you want to try and placate him, tell him you'll make an appointment with your doctor and discuss healthy eating while you're there. Until then, you don't want to hear about another word about meal choices, and if you're given the all clear, this discussion is done. But personally, I think I just bail. His obsession with this is just too weird. OP says, I'm not sure. Says he likes my body the way it is, but thinks I'd be skinnier if he wasn't around to nag me. I'm pretty happy with the way I look right now. To be honest, the thought of having to take him to professionals to get him to listen to me isn't very appealing. So Sarah 8 says, put your stats in a calorie calculator. Don't do any of this. For God's sakes, break up with him. What are we talking about?
Crash out. OP, we're crashing out on your behalf. Please, for us.
So, OP replies to this comment. I downloaded a calorie counter app last night and entered what I would have eaten yesterday without his influence, and it came in well over my daily requirements, but that developed into him picking apart how calories and the BMI system works. I know this is absurd behavior, but he doesn't seem to have a malicious intent, so I'm more puzzled than angry right now.
That, and also, go see a doctor, go see someone that is actually medically licensed in this area and prove them wrong, or like actually get the stats and be like, hey, this is what this guy said to do. Because, I mean, literally, this guy probably got all of his information from YouTube videos and just watching YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
Like
watching podcasts.
Yeah, about the male physique and how much you should be taking it as a male, not like as for females.
No, I'm not giving him an out. There's no out. Your partner has repeatedly told you, stop it. And you can't. So you're a goofy for that. And I'm leaving you. Because you are incapable of respecting me.
I think it would be the kind of thing, like, if he was watching these podcasts or whatever, it's like, that just explains it, but it definitely doesn't excuse it.
Yeah, you're still a horrifically terrible partner.
Don't need to go into any more effort to, into this man at all.
No, it's over. It's over. Okay, I'm just going to the update. 40 days later. In case anyone's wondering, it turns out my now ex's mother and 2 sisters had him convinced I had some kind of eating disorder and would nag at him about it and make him feel like crap for letting me hurt myself. So all 3 of them are obese. So I don't know why he weighed their opinion on nutrition so heavily. I pointed that out with a little more tact. And we had a much better conversation about why he needed to lay off on how I eat. He did make a lot of effort to keep his opinions to himself, but could never completely let his worry go. And by the way, you don't have to let us go, because you can go listen to full episodes of stories just like this on Spotify, iHeartRadio, really wherever you listen to podcasts. All you have to do is search OK Storytime, and you can listen to the whole archive. There's a lot. We have a little bit more story left. Mm-hmm. I still think break up, because, again, it's just more of that fundamental of like a partner who is unable to accept you for who you are and is also unable to follow boundaries of like, stop telling me to do this.
Yeah.
You know?
Trying to parent me.
Right.
Infantilize me.
Goo goo gaga, I can make my own decisions. I don't need my mom and sister to tell me how to think. So, officially, this isn't why we broke up, but it was kind of like the shattering illusion from How I Met Your Mother that kind of made me start noticing how he's quick to be arrogant, condescending, and patronizing when he thinks he's right, and how he buys into every dumb thing his family tells him without question. Stuff like that. And there are some relevant comments here. I am not explaining a How I Met Your Mother reference. That's the end of that story.
You don't need that.
I am going to a destination wedding with a friend. My girlfriend is now having doubts.
Ay, caramba!
My girlfriend, 22 female, and I, 23 male, have been dating for about 8 months. Around 4 months before I met her, my sister announced she is having a destination wedding. Being that I was single, I asked my friend, 22 female, if she wanted to go with me. There has never been anything romantic between us, and that is one of the things we value about our friendship. By the way, this comes from Verticon123, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/okstorytime subreddit. So I promised her that even if I got into a relationship, we would still go because I think it would be crappy of me to take that away from a long-standing friend and give it to a relatively newer girlfriend. After a few months, we both ended up in happy and supportive relationships. As it turns out, my friend and girlfriend went to the same high school together, but did not interact as much as they were very different people back then. To give some perspective on the girlfriend, she's someone who goes far out of her way to accommodate others and make people feel comfortable, putting her own happiness second to those around her. We are both great communicators and are always able to talk through our problems. I brought up the destination wedding trip and details early on in the relationship so it wouldn't be a surprise, and it didn't seem to really be an issue initially. Over time, her friends, who I believe were looking out for her, expressed concern that I was going to a romantic destination wedding with someone that is not her, and they think it's inappropriate. Then she met my family. They brought up the wedding on multiple separate occasions, forgetting that she was not going. And when we reminded them of this, she was met with, "Oh, we wish you were going." Reasonably, these things got to her and built up to her being adamantly against the concept of the trip. By this, I mean that she never asked me not to go, and she never asked me to let her go instead of my friend. But she said that she does not want contact with me while I'm gone and does not want to hear about the trip. She has stated that when I return, if she can forget it ever happened and move on, then we will be fine. But if she can't get past it, then our relationship is likely over. I feel like I'm doing the right thing by keeping my promise, but she feels like the right thing would have been for me to realize months ago that this is inappropriate and to take her instead, even though she did not ask me to do that. Am I the a-hole? Edit, there is no time to change plans. The flight is tomorrow morning, and there are no more rooms in the resort. Girlfriend has no passport, so this is impossible at this point. Okay, well.
Yeah, so they both suck.
Yeah, comment the 805 daddy, everyone's the a-hole here. She should have been a bit better at communicating this discomfort in the situation, but you also should read between the lines a little. I get that she's just a friend, but hear me out. Let's say your girlfriend's position and she was going to a romantic destination wedding with someone you went to high school with, even though you're dating now. I understand why you're thinking you're not the a-hole because it's specifically platonic. I found myself in a similar situation being questioned about my intent on a trip with a platonic friend. But when I took a step back after the trip, I understood why my girlfriend was so uncomfortable with it. You could probably rub 2 brain cells to figure out why she's being made uncomfortable, but she could probably have done a better job communicating her issues ahead of time. OP says, I actually was in a similar situation early on in the relationship. She went on a cruise with her ex because it was planned before they broke up. It was also a graduation gift from his parents to them, so she had to go and couldn't ask him to bring someone else. I was pretty uncomfortable with it at the time and tried to see if she could get out of it. Overall, I think she handled the situation more reasonably than I handled hers. What? This is a double dipping situation? Dude, yes. Yes.
I got nothing else to say.
Which one's worse? One's worse? A cruise going on with your ex and like having to watch your girlfriend do it, or you're going on a destination wedding with your family. I feel like the cruise is worse because the family, everyone's watching it, and it's like, hey, why you don't cheat? But on a cruise,
more thoughts downloading. But yeah, that giving the rationale behind it, where it's like, oh well, it was a gift and we planned it and it was bought for us by his parents, so we can't back out. It's like not true. There is no vampiric, legally binding Count Orlok contract stating you have to get on the boat or like the Black Plague will come to you. That's not how that works. You can just not go because it's your ex-boyfriend now. What?
Okay, the girlfriend is so much worse. Do not go on the trip with an ex.
Yeah.
Christy. Commented back. This is good to go to. I don't know, dude. She went on a cruise with her ex. I would have cut it off there. They were already broken up, and she couldn't make him take someone else. Why? I'm just going to keep it 1,000% with you, my guy. They used to date, and something tells me they didn't trade shifts sleeping on the floor. To me, that is way more disrespectful than going on the wedding. So you should take your friend, and when you come back, break up with your girl. Opie says they didn't end up on bad terms. It was pretty early in the relationship. You can't trust your partner. Why be with them? BB Ux says, I'd say you're the a-hole. It was unreasonable of you to make such a promise to your friend. You were only considering two people's feelings, but now your girlfriend exists and is a real person with real emotions. It sounds like your family wants your girlfriend to come and not your friend. If this includes your sister, then you should concede seeing her as it's her wedding. It is strange that your friend hasn't given up on the spot out of politeness, seeing as you're now in a serious relationship. I can't imagine not doing that even though you promised it to her. Your girlfriend has already expressed her discomfort with the situation, and it's not unreasonable. Why ignore her? Why does it matter that she appeared to not care earlier? The wedding hasn't begun yet. Edit. Also, it will be incredibly awkward as people will assume your friend is your girlfriend, and then you will have to explain that you have a different girlfriend and you didn't bring her for a silly reason. It's just a kind of humiliating for your girlfriend. This was also her opportunity to get to know your extended family as your partner. I think you've dropped the ball here. Yeah.
Sure, that would be the case if she was ready and waiting and had all the stuff lined up and had expressed that she wanted to go. And then he said, well, I made that promise to this other girl I'm not dating.
Yeah.
Who's not you. And I like you, but I don't like you enough to bring you to the vacation destination wedding.
His current girlfriend did
Yes.
that? Okay, because
Yeah.
The take me to the... And Ming Ming had a comment in here where it's like, yeah, the reason she's this upset about this while also having no passport is because she knows what she did on the cruise. So now she's like, oh, he's going to go do that at the wedding.
We got an update 6 days later. For those of you saying you probably won't have a girlfriend when you get back and waiting for the edit saying your girlfriend broke up with you, prepare to be disappointed. The wedding was a lot of fun, and we talked every day. She had a good weekend visiting a sibling, and we hung out when I got back. She made me brownies, and I gave her some rum cakes from the trip, and we all caught up and joked around. We are already planning a getaway trip for her birthday with just the two of us, so things are really looking up. Every relationship has bumps and mistakes. Not everything has to be a deal breaker, but you know what's the biggest deal breaker? It's when you listen to a story and you don't go to your favorite podcast platform and search up OK Storytime on Apple, iHeartRadio, or Spotify and listen to more stories just like this.
True.
That's a deal breaker for us. You
Deal
have to do
breaker.
it. We have a second update 6 years later.
Yeah, thank God.
What?
That has to be a breakup.
That's wild. Sorry. I love it when they go deep later on. But I think the girlfriend looked at it. We're even now. I went on that cruise. You did a little destination wedding with your friend. We're even.
Nah. It's crazy. I mean, I know you're just messing around. But there's no room for messing around in this. It's insane to me that this guy is willing to look past that.
Well,
I mean,
hey, if you can't trust your partner in a relationship, why have one? Well, I'm going to need a passport for this update that happened 6 years later because mine has expired. 6 years later. Question. What is the smallest amount of money that you would be life-changing for you at this moment? Opie says $3,000. I'm saving up to take my girlfriend of 4 years to Amsterdam so she can fulfill her dream of seeing Van Gogh Museum. What she didn't know is I'm going to propose there soon. I'm very worried my job is going to lay off a lot of employees, and I think I'll be on that train if it departs. I'm unsure if I can afford it this summer. So what he was probably, dude, fantastic job, Lana, because she went and she looked at their profile and like found like him commenting on other subreddits. So this is what he found. We have an update, 1st of July. I am in Paris for a few days after getting engaged in Amsterdam. Planned this trip half a year ago, and we're just staying in a hotel. I'm almost passed out in the line of the Muse aux Arrêts this morning, and I think I saw that. And editor's note, relationship length of 4 years suggests that this is not the original girlfriend.
so basically, thank you, Lana, because it's always the worst when we're like, oh my God, and they just like stayed together. So what that was evidence that these two broke up. Because I was about to
He said 6 years
obliterate
later.
so it's like, this is just
Okay.
6 years later.
Okay.
This is probably somebody else that he's now getting engaged
Yeah.
to, because based on the length of their relationship,
Then it would have been.
they would have been together a lot longer.
My
if he was
girlfriend
getting
of
married to
7
the-
years
exactly.
is what he would have said. Yeah.
I want my ex to return the birthday Xbox, even though it was a gift.
Mama's got to pay some bills.
By the way, this comes straight from the r/OKstorytime subreddit. Hey everyone, first time writing and sharing this story, being that it's happening now, and honestly, I just have some questions, and I want to see what y'all think. This is female 30, male 30. Love language is gifts. I don't have a problem expressing how I feel. I just like to show it by buying stuff for myself or others. For example, if I'm having a bad day and you say something that brings me out of my funk, days later, I'll get you some shoes and say thanks for helping me at a bad time. I'm also one of those people who laugh at everything, even when things are awkward. I can't help it. If it's a serious situation, I'll just dismiss myself. By the way, this comes from Lady Night Wolf 1, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKstorytime subreddit. So this dude I was talking to, I was supposed to go out of town to meet him in like 2 weeks. His birthday was July 3rd, and mine is June 3rd. We have been talking for 4 months straight with no problems, good communication, and conversations. He got me something for my birthday, and I had gotten him something, and we would exchange them all when I got there to Atlanta. Literally, the 4th of July, we had gotten into a disagreement. The second one, actually, about the same thing. Nothing too serious, but the same thing I'm about to tell you. Long story short, I told him I was about to leave the house to go and pop some fireworks. Before I got off the phone, he said that he was going to text me. Side note, he effing sucks at texting me. But we talked about me liking texts more and him liking to actually talk on the phone. I actually have made that effort. We would talk for hours on the phone, and he did start off texting me really well, but it slowed once we really started talking on the phone. That's not a bad thing, just sometimes I want to text because I'm doing other stuff or I'm watching something. I don't want to be on the phone, but not listening to you when my attention is elsewhere. So I said, "Are you really going to text me?" It was honestly a joke. I've said it to him before several times, but all in a joking manner, so I really didn't think he was going to get this upset. I had been drinking and smoking the whole day, so I honestly was laughing at this whole situation. It was awkward. Like, you're really upset for me saying that? There was no serious tone in my voice. I was laughing when I said it. If I didn't mention it, we were on FaceTime and talking so he could see my face. I thought the dude had grown another head. He literally started yelling and scolding me about saying that I always tell him he doesn't text me. I was trying to apologize because we did talk about this before and he said that he would work on it. And I was trying to apologize because he actually was texting me the whole day. But I wasn't able to even get the apology out because he was talking over me, telling me that I was crossing his boundaries and being rude. Then he hung up on me. Yikes. This was something I really can't stand, and I voiced this to him when we first started talking. I find it very rude when someone hangs up on you, especially if you're trying to make it right and the person is just talking over you. So now I'm pissed because he intentionally hangs up in my face because he always knows that I hate that. So all I texted was, "I'm going to remember that." The next day, we don't talk at all because I don't have anything to say. When I get mad, I tend to just go off by myself. This is also something that we've talked about, so none of this is new to him. We already talked about these things when we first started talking, and I made sure that he knew this about me. I don't like being forced to talk. I'm the type of person where I need to sit on it and see and evaluate the conversation and situation, so if I see that I did something wrong, I don't mind apologizing, making my wrongs right, and moving on. He texted me that morning. I didn't answer, so he called me a couple hours later that day, and I answered the phone. I didn't have an attitude. I simply said, "Hello." Once again, he's scolding me. And I say scolding because he has a kid, and I don't. I feel that some people with kids talk to or down on people who don't have kids, like how they would scold a child when they do something wrong, or how you would just talk to a child, if that makes any sense. He's telling me not to talk to him all day. I'm using that as a weapon towards him. I'm honestly just listening because I'm thinking if I let him talk, then he will let me talk next without the interruption. Sometimes it's not the case. The whole time he's talking, he's calling me negative, saying that that's always the first thing that comes out of my mouth when we talk, but it's not. He's saying that he doesn't want to deal with someone like me who doesn't listen to him and that I can go on and find someone else to date and talk to. At this point, I'm already done because you're going to tell me some crap like that after I already invested my time and money into you? Like, really? I'm not listening at this point, so I snapped and said very loudly into the phone, "I've already tried apologizing and you're not listening. What the F else do you want?" Yeah, no, this is just crazy. This is just, if you're that upset over this stuff or over anything, you can talk like a normal person.
Yeah.
You can talk like a normal person.
Don't talk to me like I'm a toddler that just, ate a
Yeah.
box of crayons.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like, which he has done, by the way. But you have to like how people respond to conflict is huge about their character. I've literally ended friendships over it because people have responded poorly, and I just don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
Even if it's not a romantic relationship. So, yeah, this is just, you're better off without him. So guess what? His butt hangs up again. So I'm definitely done at this point because once again, I can't say anything, and when I try to, you hang up. And why do I have to listen to you, but you don't have to listen to me? In our first argument, I told him this isn't fair. Once he doesn't agree with something I say, or you can't just talk over someone and dismiss them. And then he just hangs up again, and at this point, I'm just over it. I didn't say it, but now I am. The gift I got him was an Xbox One. Nothing special, just reused from the GameStop. He had an Xbox 360, and when we were always on the phone talking, he would be about to go play the game or get in the group chat and play the game with his friends. So in my mind, way before his birthday, I was like, that's what I'm gonna get him. So way before all of this, I sent it out because I didn't want to go through the airport with it in my hand. I kind of feel like right after I sent it out, he started acting funny. So me being me, I wanted to put it on hold because I didn't like how I'm being treated, but it was already too late. The package got there July 7th, and the argument happened the 4th of July, and FedEx was closed on the weekend, so I couldn't even call to hold it. The same day he picked it up, we had another argument. It pretty much started off with me just recapping everything, and while I'm recapping and trying to explain my side, he's literally cutting me off and said, "Are you going to hurry up and get to the point? What is this all for?" Now I'm mad because I'm trying to recap and explain everything to him, and he's rushing me. He tells me I'm crossing his boundaries by being rude, asking him to text, and because I was laughing, and I'm like, you already know this about me when it comes to laughing. This is, once again, not new. So I cut him off, like he does to me, and I asked him straight up to the point because he says he's one of those people who thinks things are black and white. So I said, black and white. Do you want to continue dealing with me? And he's trying to go around the question, so I just ask him again, cutting him off. Do you want to deal with me? You keep calling me negative and saying all this crap about me, but you're taking gifts from me. At that point, he hung up again and texted me that he does not want to talk to me anymore, so I text his butt back. I don't give two flying Fs. We can do that.
Yeah.
Ooh. Also,
Yeah.
Lisa Marie says call the dude's mom and dob on him.
Yeah, there you go. I told him he's a user, and he's only started acting this way once I sent him his gift. I honestly didn't care what he had to say next because I ended up just blocking him and unfriending him on everything because we were friends on everything. I did tell him that he can keep it, being that it's already with him, the Xbox that is, and it was only $180. I have my CDL, so that's nothing to me. I already have a Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, and laptop that I use mostly for Sims, lol. I see it as if I want something, I'm gonna get it. So I was just being nice. As I said, my love language is gifts, and I appreciated all the conversations and late night talks that we had. I haven't had that for a long time, so I honestly thought we were gonna be something serious. I was able to cancel my plane ticket. Great. It's credited now, so I guess that's better than nothing. He ends up calling me like a day or two later from an unknown number because I blocked him on everything, and he left a voicemail telling me to call him because he knows that he's blocked on everything. I ended up unblocking his number and texting him, "You called me." I wanted to keep it real simple. I saw it as you're not worth my time or words anymore since you don't want to listen, but I was curious about what he had to say. So he pretty much says that he never used me because I also was placing bets for him because being that I live in Denver and he lives in Atlanta. You're not allowed to gamble there, and this is on fandom.
Oh, sports betting? Interesting.
So he's
can't
saying
gamble in
I
Georgia.
also was placing bets for him?
Yeah, like sports bets.
So why would that be a reason that
Well, he's got his
he's
game
not
coming up.
using her, though?
Bro, he probably was like, hey, could you put in this bet? I'll Venmo you 50 bucks and get this bet in for this.
Then that might even prove that you're using her even more.
Yeah.
You can't gamble where you are, so you're making her do it for
No,
you.
this guy's a piece of crap. He's just going to lie.
Yeah.
And figure out a way to keep his Xbox.
But that's a whole other story for a different day. So he says he's never used me and that he could have gotten himself an Xbox if he really wanted to. He just didn't. And that he was gonna send it back and all this other BS about how he could have had other people do his best. Blah blah blah. That's so stupid. I'm gonna break up
man.
with you and not be like, oh, I could get this love from anyone else. It's no, I could get someone else to gamble for me.
Dude, what a
I don't even
what a
need
man.
you. It's crazy.
What a man, like, just being independent.
Yeah.
I love it.
Love it. Love to see it. So I saw it as if you don't want my gift, you definitely can send it back. I just sent him the address of where to send it and blocked him again. That was last week. So yesterday I ended up calling FedEx and getting the shipping label to return it back to me set up since he hasn't done it yet. So I checked to see. Nothing happened yet. And I'm like, okay, if you're going to say something, be about that. But I also feel like he was trying to manipulate me and make me feel bad and be like, no, you keep it since I sent it as a gift. But I'm like, if you don't want it, give it back to me. I can take that 180 and use it on something else or someone else. I see it as if I'm this bad person who crossed your boundaries, was being rude to you and laughing at you. Why are you taking my gifts? And let's note, I didn't even get my gift from him because I never went out there because I canceled the trip. But I saw the gift because we talked on FaceTime all the time, so I know what it is. But of course, I know I'm not going to get it, which is not a big deal. I can literally go buy what he bought me, lol. So I texted him on Facebook and I say, hey, the shipping label is all set up. All you have to do is take it to the FedEx and they'll handle the rest. I know he viewed the message because it says he viewed it. It's Facebook. It's Facebook Messenger, so it lets you know automatically when someone has seen your message, but he hasn't responded yet. And
Oh,
I hope
girly.
I see all of you on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever your favorite podcast app is. Because we've got full episodes with more stories just like this one. Just search OK Storytime. You're going to find us on there.
Oh, girly, girly, girly. We already know.
Girly.
We already
girly.
know what he's doing.
Yeah, we have a little bit more to the story, but yeah, he's not going to send it over.
Heck
He's not gonna
no.
send it over. I didn't even need the Xbox because I could buy one if I wanted to. I just haven't.
I didn't even need to call you for
I
a
just
fan of
did
deals.
it.
Look at someone of my other friends.
Yeah. I'm going to keep it, though. I'm going to
Wild.
keep it. Yeah, honestly, like...
This is so good. I don't even care. I usually
A
hate
plus
doing this, but this
cinematography.
is so good.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like she did say something of like, if he was so mad at me and like I did this and this and this, why would he keep my gift to him?
This guy's a loony.
might
He's a
do that.
loser.
Yeah, well, I kind of feel like I'd just kind of be like, F you. If she was actually in the wrong and I was the boyfriend, I'd be like, F you, I'm going to keep this and not send it back. I'm going to profit off of this. What do you
That's
mean?
what he's doing without saying F you.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to give it till Friday because honestly, I'm not in a rush and I haven't said everything I wanted to say on my mind. So I'm just waiting till that day so I can really pop off and just be done with him. Like I said, it's not a big deal. He can keep it. I did give it as a gift, but don't sit here and try to manipulate me and lie and be like, well, I'm going to send it back to you because I never used you. I'm not that person. So my question is for everyone out there reading this, am I an a-hole if I try to take legal action to get it back because I feel like being petty? And can you even take this type of legal action? Like, I totally understand if I lost it, not a big deal, but I'm petty as crap. And I just want to know what everybody thinks of the whole situation because I'm for sure done with his butt, but I'm just curious. Am I crazy? Am I in the wrong? Was I crossing boundaries and being rude? And I also have all the text messages, so if you guys want to see, I will put them up because I probably left out something, and I don't mind being called out on it. Please do if you see anything. And that is the end of that story.